Hi, I'm Kelly Keneally, and I'm going to be bringing to you Antonio Soler. He's a classical composer. I'm going to go over his biography, his characteristics of his music work, preferred genres, major contributions to the field that he's made, and theoretical works that he's written. Soler was born a son of a traveling musician, and he entered the monastery in Spain at a very young age. He came to be known as Padre Soler. At the monastery, he studied organ, harpsichord, music theory, composition, and sang in the choir. His duties when he got a little bit older as choir master and chief organist included composing, teaching, performing, and mentoring to royal members of Carlos III's family. The most important influences of his development as a composer would be music he heard performed at La Granja, the summer royal place. When he was with his royal charge, he would hear chamber music of Corelli, Haydn, and Mozart, among others, as well as hear famous string players of the day from Boccherini, Jose Hernando, and Francisco Minalt. Soler also met and admired and was inspired by Domenico Scarlatti. Although speculation had been that he may have studied under Scarlatti, there is no mention of that being the case in Soler's writings. None of his works were published during his lifetime due to publication in Spain at the time. In 1772, Soler gave 27 sonatas to a Lord Fitzwilliam of Cambridge for publication in England, and these works were not published until 13 years after he died. Characteristics of his music. The sonata in F sharp major, M37, contains many valuable pedagogical qualities typical of his piano sonatas. Pedagogy is the methodology and process of how instructors approach teaching and learning using a specific curriculum with specific goals in mind. A dance-like quality and fast tempo make his sonatas upbeat and enjoyable to listen to or perform. There are also gradual dynamics at play in many of his works. In Sonata M37, one of the challenges that presents itself is with wide leaps in the bass octaves, a third part broken sixth in parallel motion, arpeggio, which is the notes of a chord played in succession, either ascending or descending. Rhythmic syncopation requires alternating hands. The contrasting thematic ideas of this sonata require a variety of touch and articulation as well as sensitivity to phrasing. Preferred genres. Although Antonio Soler composed hundreds of works of varied styles, he is best known for his sonatas. It varies as to the actual number of sonatas he wrote, but research points to anywhere from 120 to 200. The sonatas became available due to the fact that Frederick Martin, a concert pianist, musicologist, and Syracuse faculty member, did research after he discovered 14 Soler sonatas by accident in a secondhand music shop in LA. The charm and appeal of the sonatas led to Dr. Martin being in search of more, which are contained in 6 volumes published by Continuo Music Press. This was prompted after Martin's visit to Spain, Sam Rubio, to contribute to Spanish editions of the sonatas. Major contributions to the field. One of Soler's contributions was inventions. His musical interests and talents often resulted in some interesting inventions to aid in meeting his demands of composing duty. Soler designed a special table for writing music while laying in bed. His interest in the theory and divisions of tones prompted him to invent a keyboard called the Afinador o Templante. upon which each tone was divided into 9 parts. Solaire's sonatas offer much variety in terms of style, character, musical elements, form, and keyboard technique. Some are based on motivic structures, others contain beautiful lyric melodies. The harmonic structures include simple binary, expanded binary, rondo, and sonata works. Most sonatas are one movement works, but many later ones are multi-movement. The rhythms are hugely influenced by Spanish dance rhythms and contain much syncopation, dotted in even compound rhythms. The thematic ideas, the development of these ideas, and the harmonic progressions are united in such a way that the sonatas reach a high standard of music quality. Fandango is a piece that is part of Soler's legacy, that was a highly influential piece of Spanish music that's impact is still relevant today. And theoretical works. Soler's treatise La Vie de la Modulation, written in 1762 and divided into 2 books, deals with aspects of music theory, notation, and music history. The final chapter of book 1, presents Soler's progressive theory of modulation, evidenced in some of the sonatas by often unrelated contrasting tonal areas and harmonic progressions unusual for compositions of this period. He theorized that it is possible to modulate from any key to any key by the way of use of common feature between the 2 keys, arrival at the dominant of the new key, and use of the harmonic spellings in stepwise and contrary motion between the outer voices. And that's going to conclude what research I got on Antonio Soler. Hope you got to learn a little bit about him. All right, thank you.